Hello, everyone. We are going to jump into one of my favorite topics today, and it is branding on social media. Let me tell you, it has never been easier to grow this business as it is now at one click of the button. I remember even years ago, I've been in the industry 17 years. I was in the beginning of social media. I was in when we weren't really in social media building a business, and it has never been easier as it is now. That's the good news. The good news is that. The bad news is a lot of people don't know how to authentically share their products and services on social media, which you'll end up finding if you don't know what it is about your brand and your pillars, and we're jumping into this. It is hard to share content because whenever people consume content now, it's a lot different than what it used to be. So we have to really get strategic on how we're doing that. We're going to go all through branding and all the tips and tricks on helping you find your brand and your pillars in this video. So why do people use social media? So there's two reasons, right? They either want to be educated or entertained. They're either looking for a recipe or looking for like, when's the last time that you went on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook and typed in the search engine, hey, I'm looking for a recipe for this, or looking for funny videos on this, or looking at this news topic? You are going there for purpose of being educated or entertained, or you just want to leisurely scroll and be entertained, laugh, or find different, like I said, recipes or workout routines or whatever that is, right? So whenever you're creating your content, I want you to really think about this. Okay, it can get easy to just start sharing all these pharmacy corporate graphics because it's the easy thing to do, right? But you want to ask yourself these questions, right? How do people feel when they're on your profile? And what am I leaving people with? What value, right? People don't buy pharmacy. People will buy you. You're going to build that like, no trust. You're going to add that value. And that is the most beautiful thing about branding, is that you can be your authentic self and people are going to build that relationship, like, know, and trust. And then they're going to want to know what you're doing. They're going to want to know what you're using. You have to remember, you're the it factor. It is you. So keep this in mind and always ask yourself these questions when you're going to post. And we'll get into this in a second. But I also want to remind you, 80% of your content that you're posted should be around what you like, you and your value, like what you're offering people, right? Around your pillars. And we're going to get into pillars here in a second. And 20% around products and opportunity. So if you're only sharing pharmacy products and opportunity all the time, it's not going to build that like, no trust, right? So when you are scrolling, what made you want to join? What made you want to buy, right? So 80% should be you and your pillars, and 20% around your products and opportunity. So make sure you're not just posting all about the products and all the things. People want to know about you, right? So ask yourself, the next time you're posting, this is something to really take note of. Would I get excited about this content? If you're not getting excited about your own content, how is someone else going to be excited about your content? So ask yourself, is this something that I would stop my scroll on? Is this piece of content something that I would literally, would it be a scroll stopping piece of content? Ask yourself that question. What is the purpose of this post? Are you adding value in other people's lives? Are you becoming that go-to person in whatever it is your pillars are? And what is the end goal? And am I staying true to my brand, pillars, and pharmacy? So we want you to also become a storyteller. Stories sell, right? People want to know what is in it for them, or what is the end game? What about that? So what made you, and you right now are like, well, I just joined. I don't really have a story yet. Okay, but why did you join? That's your story. I joined because I wanted to make a little extra income for birthdays or holidays, or I joined because I want to travel more. How can you talk about that? What's that going to look like for you one day, right? So another thing is, people want to know, if you don't have a story, tell other people's stories. Why did your sponsor join, right? Why did I wanted to join? Because I was a single mom at the time when I was first joining. I was a single mom and in this industry, and I wanted to create a life that was better for my son and I. I remember when we went to the grocery store and I literally had a couple dollars on my like card. I was buying like beans or something. And my little boy tried to get he wanted some cereal and it was like a name brand box of like Captain Crunch or something. And he wanted it. And I remembered in that moment I had to tell him no, not because I didn't want him to be spoiled, but because I couldn't afford it. I had enough money for one meal, literally, until I got paid the next day. So in that moment, I knew that I had to do something different outside of the norm because it wasn't the matter of the cereal. It was the fact that even if I wanted to say yes, that I couldn't. So I knew I had to do something different. Okay, that's storytelling. Or what if it's a product? I struggle with rosacea, right? So maybe I'm sharing how the foundation will cover up my rosacea and how it used to be a pain point. So when you are becoming a storyteller, you're relating to people, you're speaking on the things that they're struggling with, and you're giving a solution as well. People want to feel, felt, found, right? So remember this whenever you are thinking about your content, okay? People want to feel this. This is going to be a big thing when you're building connections and you're fostering that like no trust. People want to feel understood and acknowledged in their emotions and their challenges. So share things that resonate with your own experiences that may be theirs as well. People want to hear relatable stories or testimonials from customers who's faced similar situations, right? This humanizes your brand and demonstrates that you understand their journey and found present solutions or benefits your brand offers based on those experiences. So you want to highlight how others have been successful using your product or your opportunity to overcome their challenges, just like we were talking about in my story, right? So keep this in mind. It really helps you when you're creating content. We're going to get into even more exciting things that are going to help you. So you want to know your value. What are your passions? When it comes to your pillars and your brand, this is what we really want to talk about. What are some things you're passionate about? It can be so many different things. I had a coaching call with someone on the team about a week ago, and she was talking. I asked her, I'm like, what is it? She's like, I don't have a brand. I don't have, anything anyone wants to hear me talk about, right? And I'm like, well, what are you passionate about? She's like, well, I have celiac disease. And I'm like, okay, and why are what about that? What are some things you struggle with? Is it something, what is something you can help someone with? She's like, well, I love to bake. I'm like, okay, look, what are you an expert in? You are an expert in this topic, celiac, and you love to bake, right? How can you be a resource? Now she's creating amazing content around that one thing she's passionate about, and she's becoming a resource in. She's teaching people how to bake with celiac disease and different recipes and different tips and tricks on how to not make your bread too dry and all of that. So I love to use real life examples because it really helps. So ask yourself this, what are you passionate about? What are you an expert in? And what can you be a resource in? Because that is going to be the most powerful thing when it comes to your brand and keeps people coming back for more. And at this point, you're like, what are branding pillars? That's easy. Your brand is more than just a logo, it's what you stand for. Branding pillars are just 3 to 5 key themes or topics that define your online presence and attract your ideal audience. So, sticking to these will help you build trust, credibility, and consistency. Okay. So, those are like, what are your 3 to 5 things, right? And so, why are they so important? They're going to help you stay focused and avoid confusing your audience. They're going to simplify your content creation. You always know what to post about. It makes it so much simpler and it's fun. And you're going to build a recognizable brand that people want to follow and come back for more. And you're also going to attract the right people by sharing what resonates with them. Just think when you're, scrolling TikTok or Instagram and you came across a video and you felt like, wow, I want to try that, or I want to buy that, or I love that outfit, or oh my gosh, I feel that. I feel like she's speaking or he's speaking directly to me, right? That's what it means to attract the right people by sharing what resonates with you and them, right? So let's talk about choosing your 3 to 5 pillars. Think about what you're passionate about and how it relates to your audience. So some things to consider: your expertise, okay? What you know well, we talked about, right? the lady with the celiac disease and how she is now creating content around that. Your values, what you stand for, your lifestyle, how you live, your personal interests, what keeps you engaged. These are the ways that you're going to learn to pick your pillars, okay? So here's just an example of someone's pillars, right? Faith, travel, mindset, home design, fashion. So those are her 5 pillars, correct? So what we want to do is we want to say, how can she create content around faith? It could be scriptures, it could be words of encouragement. She could have voiceovers making her favorite smoothie or protein drink or meal replacement or doing her makeup. And she could create a reel that has scriptures on it or voiceover or something motivational, right? Travel, showing you're working from anywhere, your itineraries as you're flying, all those things, because that's sharing with people, you know, I want to travel more. That's going to speak to people who love to travel. What does this opportunity do? Helps me travel more. So that's another example. Mindset, anything about inspiration, motivation, home design. You could do your Amazon finds, hauls, the how to's, things around the house, right? Fashion, get ready with me's, outfit ideas, hauls. There's so many different ways, and your pillars can be anything. One of my pillars is I have ADHD. I love to teach people social media growth. Your pillars don't have to be this. You have to find what works for you and what you enjoy doing and how you can add value to people. Okay. So another thing with brand pillars, so let's use a health coach as an example. Say you're a health coach, or say you're someone who's really wanting to do their journey on a healthier lifestyle. You can share nutrition tips. So say you don't want to share a bunch of different pillars. Maybe you just want one or two. So you can have pillars within one topic. It just depends on what that is for you. So you can share nutrition tips, workout routines, inspiration, motivation around, your journey on the wellness journey, or motivation, or your workout clothes hauls from Amazon, or your meal prep recipes and ideas. The options are endless. I hope this is helping you guys really understand what pillars are. So I want you to define your own pillars. So here's your action step. I want you to write 3 to 5 topics down that you're passionate about and what you can consistently talk about on social media. Okay. This has got to be something that you will really enjoy, because it's meant to be fun too and attract your type of people. And I want you to ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? What do I love sharing? Start creating content that aligns with these pillars to attract your audience. And we're going to get into even more about this. So that is all that I have for you today. I hope this helps you define more about your brand and your pillars, and you can start creating content around these things, because it's really going to help you with your brand and your social media growth. So thank you so much for watching. I'm proud of you for being here.